So here's one of my favorite questions to ask when I was being an interviewer to the candidates. It's called the brain teasers. Okay, so the brain teaser questions cannot be prepared because sometimes even I don't know what I'm about to ask. So what are brain teaser questions? For example, how many English teachers are there in the world? Uh, how much water do you think on average you would use in a year based on your current consumption? Um, what is square root of 41? Things like that. Things that don't have an apparent answer, and it is unsure that I would have an answer myself, but I'm asking you a question, right? So the dynamics of this question is a few-fold. First of all, I'm going to see how you react or respond to the question. There's a difference between a reaction and a response. A reaction is just a reflex, right? Oh my God, you panic. That's a reaction. A response is something like, that's an interesting question. Can I have 10 seconds to think about and gather my thoughts? So there are two different ways to deal with this question. I have had many candidates who, when I ask this question, just froze and say, I'm sorry, I really don't know. And I said, you sure? And he said, yes. So when I say, you sure, I'm really just giving you another chance to say, don't you want to have a try, have a go, just to give it your best shot, right? And a few of them would say no, in which they would miss the point totally about the essence of this question. So the essence of a question like this, a brain teaser question, is, I know you don't know the answer, but I'm interested in what you can do about it based on what you do know. Okay? So number one is, how observant are you around the world on things that immediately may not have anything to do with your profession? Okay? And therefore, it is to me an indication of your resourcefulness to solve problems, and how innovative you could be in solving your problems. What kind of information can you use to, even if it's not directly relevant, could it be used as a proxy to try to get close to the solution of the answer, right? Of the question. So, something like square root of 41. How would I approach it? Well, I would say something like, well, I'm not sure, to be honest, just to respect your question, not for sure. However, this is what I would think. So I would go 6 by 6 is 36, 7 by 7 is 49, and 41 sits between 49 and 36, and it is round about in the middle. Okay, it's slightly closer to 36 than it is to 49. So I would say the likelihood of the square root of 41 is going to be around 6.5 or 6.4. Okay, so I would say somewhere between 6.4 and 6.5, and then I'll say something like, if I go anything beyond that, I'll be purely guessing, and I don't want to disrespect your question. So, without any other more accurate tool to measure it, like a calculator or a piece of paper in which I can work it out on pen and paper, what I can come up with is a value between 6.4 and 6.5. And you know what? I would have given you full marks for that. Because all I'm looking to do is to see, one, do you panic? And if you don't panic, do you make sure of the things you do know for sure to try to get close to the answer to this question? And if you demonstrate to me by thinking out loud, by letting me know your thought process, and that I know it is a logical one, but more importantly, I cannot challenge it myself, right? Because I don't know anything more than you do. Okay? So in that situation, if that's the best you can come up with, and that's what I think I can come up with, it is full mark. So, but what is the intention of this question? Well, during the real, working environment, there are many times that, when I was ahead of business, I will receive a random email from a client, a regulator, or some other, organization telling me, hey, you've got a problem. I have no idea how it started. I have no idea where it came from. And so within a short time, I need to try to make sense of it, engage the right people, ask the right questions, learn about the right things to try to figure out as quickly as I can. So this is to test when you are being confronted with a similar type of problem where you cannot make out head of tails about the whole situation. How would you respond? How would you organize your thought in a logical or as logical a way as possible to begin to solve this problem instead of wasting time worrying about what you don't know, or worse still, just give up the whole thing and say, I have no idea, right? Now, you might say, well, this is an interview, when I'm at work, I'll be a lot more serious about it. You might, but this is still your default mode, and this is how you think, right? So I want people who by default would think about solutions all the time, because I need solution drivers, not problem, sort of whingers. So these are some of the small indications that might impact my decision to continue the interview process with you or not, right? So therefore, next time you get a brain teaser question, smile, because you know it's a brain teaser question. If something that just makes totally nonsense to you is a brain teaser question, right? You smile and say, okay, that's interesting. May I have 10 seconds to think about it? So use that 10 seconds well, Try to relate to all of the information that might have something to do with it and try to work out a relationship between that information and the problem that you're trying to solve. There will be no such thing as the wrong logic as long as the logic is reasonable. Okay? As long as you can prove to some degree some kind of correlation. I'm not going to be in a position to challenge you, nor do I want to, because all I want to do, as I say, is to see, do you panic? And if you don't panic, do you capture all of the relevant information that you have in your hand right now and make the best use of it, and then stop when you know that it is going beyond a guess, and then tell me the whole process. So stay calm, think about what you can, make the correlation, demonstrate to me your entire thought process, and then thank me, and then, gracefully tell me an answer that you think you can get closest to, and that's it. And I hope you enjoyed the next brain teaser question.